But to go back to your question about how does one think about these huge disparities of wealth that have grown up, much of that's been since the 1980s. There was a tendency to greater equality from about the 30s through to the late 1970s, and then it was reversed. And I think a great deal of the discontent of society has come from that, and also I think a great deal of the urge to consume has come out of that. The Keynes utopia wasn't realized in the way he thought it would be, with everyone working a lot less, partly because most people aren't 4 or 5 times as rich as they were in the 1930s.
There are a few that are 38,000 times richer. And then
yeah, exactly. So the median incomes have stagnated, in fact, possibly fallen. And so that's one aspect. Now, of course, when you get big growth in inequality, you get a growth of envy. And also, one of the things we found is that the more equal societies are, the less they tend to work. America, of course, is top on inequality and works the longest hours. But that was not true in the 1950s and 1960s. The reduction in American work hours was faster than in the European countries. So Americans aren't workaholics in the way the way conservative
Let me ask you one
economists.
final question about goods and wants and what society can achieve. It appeared that both Germany and the United States resolved the Great Depression with what we might call military Keynesianism. It is very hard to envision, as I listen to the rhetoric in the United States, people trusting the state to do something other than war on a sufficient scale to revive the economy from the slump we're in. What kind of affirmative agenda, as you look at the good life, what could you recommend as a way which would both support demand in the traditional Keynesian sense and leave us with what you might call an architecture that was fostering the good life that you've explored in this book?
Well, I think there are a number of things you can do. I think war is no longer good enough. It's too cheap now. You don't have to have any people there, actually. Just send,
drones
and other things. But I think you can do things in society. I mean, a more even distribution of income. We actually advocate a progressive consumption tax, which reduces the pressure to consume, which finances better social services, so it has a progressive function, and also by exempting saving, helps people to prepare for financing their retirement. So it seems to me that tax has a lot of advantages and should be seriously considered. I think we advocate work sharing in order not to have, a small number of people in productive work and a large number of people who haven't got anything to do. We advocate curbs on consumption, reducing the pressure to consume. You can do that by taxes. You can do that by the way you finance television. So there's a lot of scope for social innovation in order to overcome some of these distempers and focus people's attention, if you like, on how much is enough.
Edward?
One other scheme we suggest is what's sometimes called a basic income, which would be an unconditional income paid to all adult citizens in a territory. And which would give them, some source of livelihood independent of their job, and would make a reduction of working hours a real possibility for people who can't afford it at the moment.
Well, I want to thank you both, first of all, for writing this book. Thank you for grappling with these issues, and thank you for coming and talking with us today.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.